Okay, so there have been a few bills that many of you have been tracking through the Canadian House of Commons that Justin Trudeau's Liberal government have put forward, which could have a major implication on what you see online, what news content, what content you have access to, what you see. So many of you have been following Bill C-11, but there's another bill that's also, that Trudeau also put forward. It's called Bill C-18. And today, in response to this bill, Google News, and I'm reading this off of the Reuters website, so it's factually correct. Google tests blocking news content for some Canadians. So Google, as of today, is actually blocking news for certain Canadians. And think about that. Let that sink in for a second. This is me as a Canadian member of Parliament reading off of the Reuters news website that Google is actually blocking news for some Canadians. Now, why is this happening? This is happening because of Justin Trudeau's Bill C-18. Now, I don't know how widespread this is going to be. I don't know if this means that Google is going to be blocking me in the future. Facebook has also threatened to do the same thing because of this bill. So I just ask you to take a minute. I'm going to break down what this means, but I want to be able to communicate with you on my work as a member of Parliament. Many of you know I communicate regularly on what I'm doing. There's a link in the video description to a Substack that I've started. It lets you skip the algorithm. It lets me communicate directly with you. Just take a minute. Please press subscribe. There's an article in there that I wrote this week to show you an example of what I'm writing on there. Just click subscribe, because now that Google is blocking news sites, I don't know if this means I'm going to be able to talk to you. Are they going to consider me news? So please just take a minute, click subscribe. It's my biggest ask for you. Many of you ask what you can do to help fight back. Just please click subscribe in the video feed so I can continue to talk to you now this is happening. So this is breaking this morning. Google blocks news content for some Canadians because of this bill, Bill C-18. So what does this bill do? So many of you know that some of the traditional print media in Canada, like newspapers, certain newspapers, they're not making money as much anymore. And why? Because we consume content differently. So what these newspapers have argued is that big content like search engines and platforms like Facebook is they should be paying newspapers when newspapers publish content on Facebook. So, the analogy that's been used is in a more analog world is that this is sort of like saying that a magazine publisher should be getting payments from the magazine stand that their hard copy magazine is sold on. So it's like saying that a book publisher should be paid, there's a different analogy there. And so there's been a lot of debate on this, but here's the bottom line on the bill. Google and Facebook and other major platforms have basically said, well, we don't think this is right. We don't think this business model is right. So we're just going to block news in Canada. And that news is even for a legislator like me, that's very ill-defined. I don't know what that means. So does that mean I'm going to be blocked? Who's going to be blocked? So Justin Trudeau has put us in this position, right? Because he's put forward this bill that nobody, especially small independent journalists and content creators, they're saying, no, we're good. Thank you. There's many of the people who have testified in front of committee. It's not just Google and Facebook. They have put us in this situation where now we've got companies like Google and Facebook saying that Google this morning flat out says they're blocking news content. So conservatives, we fought this bill tooth and nail. It's in the Senate right now. I know that some senators are trying to fight it as well too. But Google has just preemptively said, well, we're gonna, if this passes, we're blocking news content, right? That's what they're doing with this test. So certainly I know that we're gonna continue to oppose this bill. But Justin Trudeau with coalition with the NDP, they're passing these things, right? And it affects what you see. I am a Canadian member of Parliament, and I'm reading from my Reuters news website that Google is blocking news content for some Canadians. So share this video while you can. Who knows? I actually don't know. Am I going to be blocked on this in a few weeks? I don't know. That's crazy. And in the meantime, like, I just ask you to click the link. I'll put it in the comments as well, but there's a link in the top of my video feed. I put out print content, and I also am hoping to put some video content out through this platform. Click that link, click subscribe, and it allows me to skip Google, skip Facebook, skip everything, and communicate directly with you. And unfortunately, I think that's what more people are going to have to do. I try to do my best to communicate with you on the work that I'm undertaking, the Conservative Party's undertaking, things that I'm hearing in Ottawa, concerns that I have on behalf of my community, because a big part of my job is communicating with you so that you are informed about what actions I'm taking and concerns that I have that affect our whole country. And I also try to, take a nonpartisan perspective in a lot of things as well too, because there's a lot of people that I represent who might not vote for me, but I'm still responsible for, representing them well in Ottawa. But what these bills are doing, like what Trudeau is doing, is he's actually creating an environment where I'm not sure I am going to be able to communicate. Like, what does this mean? This is happening in Canada, and this is happening under Justin Trudeau's watch. So share this video. It's the number one thing you can do. Click on the link in the video description so that I can continue to communicate with you. If I get blocked, I don't know, maybe I'm being blocked right now on Google. I don't know. Facebook has threatened the same thing. But please share this video, click subscribe. I want to be able to keep doing my job, but at the end of the day, like, no matter how you vote, like even if you vote Liberal, nobody should be supporting something that leads to this. No, the Liberal government should not be supporting things that lead towards censorship. And they have put us in this situation where now a Canadian member of parliament, like G7 country, okay, that's supposed to be a democracy, we have Google basically saying they're blocking news in my country because of this bill. It's insane. So please, I just implore you and beg you, please click subscribe in the link so that I can continue to communicate with you, and also share this video because I think this is news that every Canadian should be concerned about. Working hard for you. Have a great day.